It calls for great concern when those we entrusted with our safety are the ones shattering it. The Railway Command of the Nigerian Police has arrested 14 suspects, including an army sergeant, for alleged vandalization of railway tracks in different parts of the country. Items recovered from arrested 7 sergeants with the Nigerian Army Central Ammunition Department, Kaduna, Sirajo Suleiman, and other suspects are 3 trucks loaded with railway sleepers, steel, and clips. We are simply not patriotic. Let's just watch this report. Okay. Bolaji, I don't know. Yeah. If a serving sergeant.
It's a rather very unfortunate situation. But it tells us something, and that is the railway police seems to want to be on top of their game now, because for a long time we've not been having, we have heard about all these instances of rail being pulled off by people, being caught and all those things. And you keep asking ourselves whether the railway police are actually performing the role they are supposed to perform. When you look at this incident, those people that were arrested, this army sergeant and the other 13 other people, they were not arrested. They were arrested at different parts of the country, making the totality of 14. For example, that sergeant was arrested with about 6 other people. That was in Kaduna area, Kafanchan or thereabout. Then in Ofa also, they arrested some other people there too. In Oyo State too. So which means the police, the military, or the railway police wants to do what they are supposed to be doing. But I think we should even take it a step further. I think there are technology that are in place to ensure that, yes, that to monitor what's happening at the rail tracks. And these are the things we should actually deploy, because with the stretch of rail tracks that we have, how can you police the entire stretch? It's very, very difficult. Unfortunately, the people, like we rightly noted, people that are supposed to be the one protect these things are even the people that are the culprits. Rather very unfortunate.
Julie, it's very easy for us to criticize government every time at any turn, but you also have followership at that, some people behave like animals. When you see government infrastructure, when you see bridges, when you see street lights, people will go there in the middle of the night. There's one video that is trending now, even road setback. You see people putting it. They keep stealing it. The one on CMD road there. If you see
they've replaced it a number of times.
Yes, still people go there.
These boys who were around looking for scraps,
yes,
and metals that they melt. They are the ones now who go to steal those steel that steel works meant to cover drains. They removed those steel works. There was a night here where those of us trying to access the expressway, we were on a long queue because by stealing those steel
drainage cover,
placed on top of the drainage. By stealing them, they made the road narrower. Because the alternative is to end up inside the ditch. So we had to take turns to access the road. And after some time, those things were replaced. But the problem is how much longer can the government be doing that? Some bridges in our country, people have gone to steal the road, the shoulders. They steal the steel works that were done there, so that they can melt them. That was why when I went to cover the second Niger bridge, I was happy because the shoulders, everything was made of a concrete. So go and steal the concrete. Let me see if you can. Solid concrete, prefabricated. Go and steal it now. This thing is like a nationwide nonsense that is going on.
Honestly.
Because in May last year, there were 5 different attacks by these people on different rail infrastructure. Itakpe, Wari Itakpe, vandalized. They went to even Kaduna, Zaria. They were just damaging
capable of derailing any train.
Yes, beyond even putting the lives of travelers at risk. government can't spend billions of naira
To make life
to
better.
to come up with rail infrastructure, and then people will be damaging and stealing. So we have to also invest in securing the rail tracks. There are technologies that can enable us to secure these rail tracks without being physically present. So we can't spend all that money and not be willing to invest in the technology that will secure the rail tracks, because this is just nonsense. The way it's going on, you know that even these high tension wires, you know that they steal them too.
Yeah,
these guys, especially if you are traveling on those highways, those high tension wires that link states together, you just find in one remote community that part of the
ground.
The cable is on the ground because they had breached it somewhere, stolen as much as they want to steal, and they've left the rest. So perhaps we need to come up with amend our laws, because this is economic sabotage. This is not good. You know, during the military regime, they came up with some laws specifically to punish certain crimes. Outside of the constitution, they came up with laws to punish certain crimes. So once something is becoming rampant, and it's a national problem like this one, then we have to find a way to put it to an end. We even hear now that even some very senior people, even in government, some are involved in this thing. Some arrests were made in Nasarawa. In Nasarawa state, civil defense people and some top people, government official, they were found to be involved in this crime of vandalizing rail tracks. So it's not a small problem at all. The earlier we descend on the people, you read that truck loaded, that the truck was loaded with what they are stolen. That's to tell you the extent to which they went and the hours it must have taken them to do this.
And you see when a sergeant, and his name was given, that Sirajo Suleiman.
Quite unfortunate. It is pure economic sabotage, and there should be adequate punishment for such crime, because it's a crime. You see, when the idea of rail, we all know what it can do for us. You know, it's very easy and cheaper to move goods. I was reading this afternoon that you can move about 20,000 tons of goods with about just a liter of fuel with and 2 crew members. You know, that's rail. You know, when you are using the rail. And when you compare this with trucks, all these trailers that we have on the road, they can only do about 80 tons of goods. You know, so it is easier for us because to use the rail to move some of the goods, because it saves a lot.
Petroleum products.
Yes, it was petroleum products.
Instead of damaging our roads.
Yes, instead of damaging the roads. You know, and it's cheaper, like I said. Only 2 crew members, just less than a few liters of fuel, move all those things. But people, I don't know whether
when we were younger, even petroleum products were being moved.
Yes, cattle, everything, all these people grazing cow all over from one corner of the country to the other. You put this in there, it comes by rail and come down to the south from, you know. You don't need to stress yourself, trouble yourself. Unfortunately, you ask yourself, these people that are doing this thing, are they really Nigerians? Because I can't fathom it.
They don't love their country.
Yeah. Honestly, I can't fathom it when you just know that some money has been spent on this thing. You now go there, you vandalize it for what? What are you trying to do? You know, I was watching one small video. One of these people that are selling iron with sack on their back like that. He just went to the front of the house.
They are the ones doing these things. Okay.
Yes, he went to the front of the house. He just saw this light
bulb.
Yes, he just pulled the thing off and put inside the bag. He went to the other one and put inside the bag. You know, asked himself, what kind of woman being are this?
That's security lights that people.
Yes, yes. By the pillars of the gate.
Lights.
You know,
they've been vandalized.
Yes,
there's all those steel slabs that they put on that they use. Used to cover drainage.
Yes.
In some places, culverts, they
remove them. It's rather unfortunate. And I remember there was this senator from Oyo State, after February. I think he's the chairman of the Senate Committee on Transportation or something like that. He was saying that, look, these people that are doing this should be shot.
Honestly.
that they
It's
should be shot.
economic sabotage.
Yes, and I agree with him. You can't be doing this. How
Elsewhere,
long are we going to be doing that?
when a problem becomes seemingly intractable, you come up with laws that are more punitive. Because you have to find a way to discourage people from doing this.
Yes.
People, we sabotage our country too much. Yet, we will come out and say, oh, the president is not working. These people, they are not. Now, what they are doing for the people, for Nigerians to enjoy alternative to road transport, you are damaging it. How many times will they go back to fix this thing?
When the other places need to
yes. Other places that need attention are there.
If you remember, during the time of Akinwumi Ambode, the whole of Ojota, they had these barricades.
Yes.
All over, so that people will stop
They destroyed
crossing
them.
the highway. It was destroyed.
They destroyed them.
People.
Now, you know, there was a campaign that we led here when some irresponsible drivers were doing U-turn just before
Ojodu
just before
Yes.
the road safety.
Yes.
In front of that,
Vandalize that.
I think directly in front of that eatery.
Yeah.
Yes.
They created a U-turn that was not there.
Yes.
Now you, the responsible driver, you are going home. You are tired, you are stressed, and somebody who just doesn't want to get up to road safety before doing U-turn will now use will now use that place, waste your time.
Yes.
You know, cause a long queue.
Traffic. Yes. Yeah.
We led the campaign. Government then decided to go and block all those places. Now, if you go back,
Go and check it now.
and I'm sure it's these Okada riders.
I noticed.
You see, Okada riders don't want to go all the way.
Yes.
Now-
right in front of grammar school.
They have started. Destroying those medians again. They've started destroying the median to create room. Now, when the Okada rider creates a little room for himself, suddenly it gets wider. Yes,
The
wider.
tricycle will want to pass.
The tricycle too want to use the place.
Yeah.
Later on, cars will think they can do U-turn there. If the government of Sanwo-Olu can do what was done further down as we are approaching public works,
Yes.
you know the median is high.
Yes. Yes.
The median is high.
Yes.
If they can make the median that high, you need to
Also.
see. I've seen some medians in Kano. You cannot breach those ones the way these guys are doing. You cannot do it because we need to stop those who are crossing the road and getting knocked down. They created those medians, you know, for them. So now you're vandalizing everything, destroying. If you are going along Ikorodu Road, you will not even think that those barricades were there before. Because some places, you could remove them completely. So that the buses can do U-turn where they are not supposed to do U-turn. We need to, as a people, we need to change our ways. Because a lot of us are just incorrigible. We are not good Nigerians. But we'll be the ones, the quickest to abuse government, to say, what are they doing? People, they are doing so much, yet you are using your own hand to destroy their work. Yet you'll be the first to abuse them.
It is important to actually do something drastic. You see, I recall that during the first time of the President Buhari, when we had this issue of drug trafficking in Nigeria, some people were, there was this law.
Yes.
And
prescribing death.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. That the military,
at the end of the day, 3 people were killed. Bartolomeo, you know, about 3 guys. Other people said, yeah, God bless you. And then Nigerians knew that, look, this government was serious about curbing this thing, and people were very careful. It reduced the thing drastically because
All right.
of the outcry. People,
Okay.
you know.